right, we're ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh!
Woof.
Drinks all around. Family, you don't get to pick the one you get. Just gotta love the one you got.
I always knew this day would come.
I got it.
I don't think you got it.
I held him off for years.
Charlie, get up here.
He's a relentless son of a bitch. Won't stop till he finishes the job. Death is coming for our family.
I said, oh, 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 oh.
Grandma, what's happening to us?
Years ago, I had a premonition that started it all. I saw what death was about to do. I saved a lot of lives that night.
Everyone needs to get off the dance floor!
Lives that were never meant to be saved. But death doesn't like it when you mess with his plans. This book, it will show you everything you need to know to keep our family safe.
It all started with Grandma. Death is coming for us because we were never supposed to exist. Watch out!
Only by embracing death will it pass you by.
Maybe death's not actually coming for our family. Because that would be crazy.
Good luck.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new Late to the Murder Party. With me is the lovely Graveturtle.
Hello.
And returning because, well, it's only appropriate. He did cover the first 5. Please welcome my friend Kaz, or Casual Undead, or whatever he wants to go by today.
Void or Kaz is fine.
Void? Alright, Void. Kaz, I know you got Kaz. Yeah, so something special happened. That
We're not late this time.
Yeah. No, we're not really late. This is like, I mean, it came out in May. This is coming out. I'm literally putting this out in June, so, but we're not too late. But I've finally put out the compilation. Like, I did a better supercut. I added back in content and stuff like that I'd wanted to the now official YouTube cut of the Final Destination breakdown that we did, where we covered all 5 films at the time. We talked about, like, the links to the X-Files, and it's all of its everything. Like, we give a very thorough dig into that.
Right.
And quite frankly, this is still one of my favorite horror franchises. Like, I fucking love this series. And this entry, holy shit. Yeah, we got a new entry. So, now, oh god, how many years? Because the last one came out in 2011.
It's been a while, yeah. Like,
Yeah, that...
It's been so out of public consciousness for a while.
Yeah. like near 15 years, so like yeah, about 14. Like yeah. Good God. We now finally have a new one. So let's dig into this this entry. Oh, yes, and of course I forgot to give my intro. I am, of course, the Mistress Ookami. Yeah, you can tell I'm excited. I've been wanting
like
to cover
bouncing in your
this.
seat.
Yeah, I've been wanting to cover this since it came out. Let's dig into Final Destination Bloodlines. Now, normally, I would hate a film that had a title like that.
Normally, but it's applicable to the plot.
Oh, absolutely. It's appropriate. Like, oh, okay. Oh God, where do we begin?
Well, first there was a tower, and then the people cheat death, and then they all die because this is Final Destination, and you can't cheat death. You can only win fair and square in a game of chess.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, no, you go into this knowing everybody's gonna be dead by the end. It's just how is it gonna happen, and when.
Yeah, it's always a waiting game. It's a Rube Goldberg disaster.
Mm-hmm.
The main conception of Final Destination is the smallest detail that you don't get to is usually the linchpin to your demise.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that this film is really good at, is that whenever the camera lingers on something, it's going to be important. It might not be important right away and not how you expect, but it will be important. It's like there's not just Chekhov's gun, there's Chekhov's armory.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
It plays into that thing of death is patient.
Yeah, death is patient. Death is also an asshole. And bored.
And petty.
Apparently. And petty. Yeah. Like,
Well, I mean, Death's got a quota to fill and doesn't like people, messing up the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
See, I had a theory about this in that we talked about this. There's a lot of circle imagery and how death is circular, and that death it creates a perfect loop in someone's life, right?
Yeah.
I can't help but notice a bit of a parallel with the penny as well, how the penny keeps rolling. It reminds me of how Sisyphus keeps rolling the boulder up, and what did Sisyphus do? He cheated death.
Well, also the coins could be a reference to, the obols for the dead, passage for the ferryman. And
Yeah,
you keep
that's
seeing,
also crypto.
you keep seeing the pennies show up at the beginning of the movie and at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the guard explicitly tells the kid, "Don't steal pennies. It's bad luck."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the kid fucking does it. Fuck that kid, by the way.
Oh my
God.
gosh.
He got what he deserved.
I want to know what happened to him after.
That's a good question.
I actually want to go back and see that kid's demise.
The piano. The piano came after him.
Oh god, yeah, if the piano still somehow got him, that would be amazing.
Well, I mean, Iris, was supposed to be impaled on something, and she ends up getting impaled on something, when she finally meets her end. So, I mean, if he was supposed to die by a piano, maybe he died by a piano, later.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's like you will get the death that, was planned for you.
Yeah.
Hang on. Have we seen any other deaths with pianos?
Not in this. No, this is the first time we've ever seen them killed with a piano. That went just full on, like, fucking Looney Tunes.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. It just makes me think this film is going to connect all the other films with this bloodline thing of, okay, this person's death is connected to this and that and that and that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to think, the moment we see this type of death, we'll know that the pattern is this.
True. Yeah, no, there is a pattern. There were hints and stuff, as there always is. Should have been just a slightly bit more prepared. I'm going ahead and pulling up the IMDb.
Don't worry about it. Names are hard.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, especially in movies like these, where only a few characters stick around to the end.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, especially, also, I've got to put out the fact that this movie is very well paced.
Oh, very. It's the longest of the Final Destination movies, but it is very, very well paced.
It's funny because it also has people drop probably the quickest in quickest succession.
Mm-hmm.
It has the least amount of dead air I've seen.
But it's also not just, splatter death after splatter death after splatter death.
No, it's
Yeah.
genuine, tension building, because there's also the subplot that you want to go over, Ookami?
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and give the summary from IMDb. Let's see. Plagued by a recurring violent nightmare, a college student returns home to find the one person who can break the cycle and save her family from the horrific fate that inevitably awaits them. A teenage girl has recurring nightmares of a tower collapsing in the 1960s. She discovers that these nightmares are a premonition she inherited from her grandmother. The grandmother predicted the collapse of the building and saved a group of people from death. More than a group, by the way.
Yeah.
Decades later, the granddaughter begins to have visions of her family members dying. She realizes that there's a sequence and must fight to prevent death from reclaiming her family's bloodline. Yeah, death is now working its way all the way through, and yes, people had family. These people who were not supposed to had children. And so death slowly works its way down the line from the oldest down to the youngest, and then moves on to the next family. And then the next family.
And so on.
Yeah. It's insane. It's... Oh my god. This is the first time... It's a concept that I really think probably should have happened sooner. I don't know why anybody never thought of it. But, yeah, the idea of, okay, you survived this. You weren't supposed to survive this. And then you go on to have family.
Yeah.
More lives that come into being that were never supposed to exist in the first place. Well, that's going to throw a massive wrench in any kind of plan for the universe, let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I compare it to Sisyphus, because Sisyphus blatantly cheated death not once, but twice.
Mm-hmm.
Did it once when he invited death to his house and basically chained him under his bed. And the second time where it basically tricked him to letting him leave and basically disguising himself until he was literally too old to avoid him.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have Stephanie Reyes. She's the one who has she's the young girl who ends up the college student who ends up having these premonitions. The family doesn't believe her, which, I mean, I don't blame them.
I mean, to be fair, if... Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because, to be fair, if my family member came up to me and said, I found this book in an attic from our uncle from Sweden about how our family has a bloodline curse that's like Parkinson's, and that we need to deal with it.
Yeah, I don't think I would believe that either.
No. I'd ask, what are you smoking?
Did you give my stash again?
No, you learned by watching memes. Jesus.
So the first time I watched this in theaters. Fun experience. When the brat, oh god, yeah, there's a brat, when you're on the tower, there's a brat throwing the pennies off of it. And then causes all kinds of fucking chaos. When that brat got the piano dropped on his head. Like, he got what he deserved. Everyone in the theaters cheered. Which is fucked when you think about it, because we all cheered that a child got killed.
I mean, he was really, really, really unlikable. Like,
Oh,
being,
absolutely.
like the little kid where you just want someone to knock some sense into him, and someone tells him off, you applaud, and then he goes on to continue being like doing exactly what he was told not to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of parallels between the kid in the beginning and a character later, who is Eric, I believe his name is.
Okay, I have a soft spot for Eric. Eric,
see the parallels.
I see the parallels. Eric's a brat, but like,
it's this theme of don't push shit that you don't understand and don't take what you don't need.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
If you end up
definitely.
taking, you're gonna end up getting something taken from you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Eric definitely fucking tips fate. Oh my god,
yeah.
does he? Yeah. But this brings... Hmm?
I also wanted to bring up another thing. I haven't checked it yet, but I'm pretty sure it might be relevant to the score or anything else in the film. But aside from the circle imagery, there is also the concept of four, because four is also death in a lot of Asian languages.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if any of the music has been like specifically chosen to be in like ×4 or whatever specifically.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. They do that shit. They do shit like that a lot.
Because we deliberately saw and heard the soundtrack is very tailored to the situation. It's the hot fuzz approach.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, music is also used as a source of humor in a lot of sections.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Like,
doesn't
when...
kill you, makes you stronger.
I think it's
meanwhile, someone's busy dying.
Someone's dying, like, yeah, sorry to... I didn't even know that was one of your fears, Kaz, but, like, yeah. Like, yeah, legitimately, yeah, somebody gets thrown it. Okay. I gotta set it up, because...
The funny thing is that all the things in that setup that you're about to talk about are circles.
Yes, they are. So...
Well, it's the circle of life and death.
Oh, yeah. So, we have Eric having survived a real fucked up experience. Like, you really... the thing is when they first teased this film, they literally just showed the scene of what everybody thought was Eric's death. Which he's in, he's at a tattoo parlor in Piercing Shop.
Tattoo parlor, fan in chains. Yeah, if you haven't seen the trailer for this, definitely go and watch it.
Oh, yeah, check it out.
Oh, it's amazing.
And so he thinks that, she's lying because, she's been doom and glooming them, saying, we're all cursed to die. And he's like, yeah, well, I just survived that thing. That proves your theory is false.
Yeah.
And so she outlines another scenario with, a saw, children, a leaf blower, and getting hit in the head with a soccer ball.
Yep, the saw.
And it doesn't happen, but what she outlines doesn't end up happening to him. It ends up happening to his sister instead.
And it's all in sequence, too. Literally what she predicted, it happens exactly like that.
And what's an important detail is that the scene isn't focused on it. It's focused on them talking about it, something else in the foreground, while it happens in the background.
Yep. And it is the funniest damn thing, because it's just like, oh, you see the saw fall. Oh, it startles the guy who's leaf blowing. The leaves blow in front of the kids. Catches them off guard. They mess up their kick. The ball gets kicked and nails her in the head, and she gets dumped she falls into the trash can, where
just as it's being picked up by the
by the garbage
the
guy.
trash-
Yeah. And the truck, it dumps her in there. And then immediately starts crushing. And it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, when it first happens, you chuckle. Because it's like, thunk, and you're like, whoa, what the... Then, like, do you see the horror of the situation? You're like, oh, dear God. Like...
Because, like, something... The sequence of events is, like, something out of, like, a Wile E. Coyote cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
An overly
Comical,
complicated way. And then, you have... The trash man doesn't notice because he's too busy jamming out to his tunes.
Yep.
And so, you get him, like, being completely oblivious to them yelling at him because his music's too loud.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of, like, one of the things that, like, people who aren't familiar with this franchise don't really understand, because, Final Destination is, like, it's nothing like, the Saw movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, death trap after death trap after death trap. They're really funny.
Yeah.
In a really morbid way. They're morbidly funny. There will be moments that, the entire audience is, like, cringing together. So, if you ever get the chance to see one of these in the theater and you haven't, at least gather a large group of friends and all cringe at some of the more gruesome ones together. But the movies strike this balance of, like, desperation, hope, humor, and gore that isn't, you don't really see in a lot of other film franchises or movies.
You really don't.
I think it's also because it's a film franchise. I respect that it conditions its viewers to pay more attention to details, because not only in the way they make their films and the story, but in the way the story is like, hey, death is everywhere in the real world. This happens here too. Pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's kind of one thing I think many of us have noticed after watching one of these movies, like leaving the theater. It's like you're suddenly more aware of your surroundings in the parking lot.
Oh yeah.
And driving home.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, especially
Final
if you have a long
Destination
drive.
will always be the best PSA film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want someone to pay more attention while they're driving or crossing the street or in parking lots, make them watch a Final Destination film. You'll suddenly be much more wary.
Oh yeah, like literally, we got out of it. Mom had a very close call with, like, as we're, like, driving, and I'm just like, Mom, I still have to review the movie. Don't do this to me.
Oh gosh, like when I was driving home after the movie. So I have a long drive on a windy, twisty mountain road, 2-lane highway, where a lot of the motorcycles like to think that the double yellow is their own personal lane.
Oh god.
And pass on blind turns. And I saw this on the weekend, so of course all the stupid motorcyclists were out being stupid motorcyclists because the weather's nice, and it's just like, you got someone passing where they shouldn't, and you're like, get out of my lane! I only have the mountain to get out of here.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about that is that when you mentioned driving, they did a ad campaign where they had the logs from the fucking second movie saying "deja vu" or something.
Oh, so the ad was it said "How's my driving?"
Yeah, it was "How's my driving?"
Yeah, "How's my driving?" And then it had a little ad that said, like, yeah, Final Destination Bloodlines in theaters, blah blah. Yeah, I'm like, and I thought that was just a reference to 2. No. That was a double reference, and that was actually literally giving away the ending, and yet not. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reference to 2 in this.
Oh yeah.
There is a lot of reference to 2. In fact, they literally bring up who is arguably, and fans haven't decided. Nobody has been able to actually confirm, like, not even, like, the writers and shit, have been able to confirm if anyone has actually fully survived all of this. Except for apparently one. Because this one very much implied that Kimberly Corman from the second movie survived.
Yeah.
That she broke the
rendered dead as
cycle.
dead.
Yeah. That she broke the cycle, and I'm like, okay, I don't know. And Tony Todd references it, and oh my god, okay. We gotta, before we get into the rest, like, because we're gonna jump around here. We're gonna talk like a bit about like just crazy fucking scenes in this, but first we gotta talk a serious scene because Tony. Oh my god. So this was Tony Todd's last film.
Yeah.
This was truly his last film. He doesn't look great.
No.
You can tell like the cancer was getting him.
Eating at him. It was finally getting to him.
And they made it so that his character actually, and they make reference to it twice, because another character is like, yeah, I've survived this long, and now I got cancer. Death, you fucking asshole. It's
Yeah,
like...
Death's a bitch.
Yeah, it's like, you petty bitch. But they did the same with Tony. Because Tony's one of the Bloodworth is one of the characters who is one of the people that Iris saved.
Right.
Was a little boy. And saved him. So everybody's always wondered why he knows so much about death. Well, now we know it's because he's had it following him all his life.
It's stalking him.
Yeah, so he's witnessed it all. Well, yeah, they give Bloodworth cancer as well. Tony Todd had cancer. And he gives a very, very poetic speech in this.
It feels like a genuine goodbye.
Yeah. I feel like I don't think they were probably going to do that with his character. Except that because Tony was on his last few months of life, and I really feel like Tony knew. It just screams of somebody who the way he's acting in the film and everything just screams of somebody who knows it's their time. That their time is very fleeting, it's very short. And I feel like he told the directors, because he kept it very close to his chest, like a lot of people did not know. And I think he told the directors, he's like, hey, so I'm actually dying. This is what's going on. Can we write this in? And just let me give finality to this character?
Because this franchise has always kind of been his baby.
Yeah. And so he gives a very poetic speech about living life and
enjoying the time you have and not worrying about it.
Yeah. But right before that, he does explain that, yeah, one person is like, there are two ways to defeat death, or two ways to cheat death. One is to kill somebody and get their remaining life. Or two is for you to die. You have to be registered as dead and then come back. So your heart must stop and then restart.
Which, given what we've seen in a previous movie, when someone did kill someone else to get their time, death will just deliberately fuck with you and give you someone who's going to die in a week anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that was... Yeah. So, yeah, because you have no way of knowing. And so you get the... Yeah, but then you get that very poetic speech, and then he walks out. It's just like, yeah, once you all are dead, then it's going to be my time. And it's like, yeah, that is true. So he leaves them to their devices. Eric's fucking great in this scene, though.
Yeah.
Because they have, like, it's down to, like, the, our two mains, their mother, and then it's Eric and his brother who's on the chopping block. Eric, we find out, is adopted. That shit was funny. Is that why he always wanted to play catch?
Yeah, it wasn't that he was adopted.
Oh, not adopted. I'm sorry. He was
a half sibling.
half sibling. That's right. Sorry, not adopted. It is that he was yeah. It was his dad. Yeah, dad wasn't dad. He wasn't blood related. Like, oh, what? Is that why you always wanted to play catch? Like the horror, the pure horror of who his dad is too. It's like, yeah, he must really hate that dude.
But like, you know, he of course, you know, is like trying to help, you know, his remaining siblings and his cousins, and you know, keeps interfering enough that, you know, Death basically decides, all right, you can come too.
Yeah. Oh, and the way that goes down is fucking brutal. But yeah, he's trying to help his brother. And he's like, okay, so you have to die, and he's like, what? Why would you? He's like, oh, you heard the man. He's like, you just met him, and you're already trusting him. Yeah, he's weirdly charismatic. And yeah, no, God, oh, so yeah, we might as well get into like some of like the big. So we see a lot during the whole tower thing, like some very brutal kills, but those aren't exactly what we're here for. One of the things that Final Destination is best known for is its sequence of events.
And I think like one of the best illustrations of that is the barbecue after the funeral in the beginning, where like, you know, you see a glass break, you see the piece of glass in the ice, you see the ice in that scoop of ice with the glass end up in someone's drink, you see a bunch of cheers, you know, toasting, and then you see someone choke, but it's not on glass, it's on a bug.
Yep.
And then it, you know, another one that was in the trailer was people on the trampoline with the rake, but then that gets moved away. Then, you know, just like the journey of this piece of glass out of the cup and into the lawn, and then into like the guy's foot, but the glass isn't what immediately causes him to die. It's another thing with the lawnmower.
Yeah. Right. Funny thing, earlier on, even before Iris died, she went to go, our college student, she went to go, I already forgot her name, and I hate that. The name that... Stephanie went to go see them, and you see him mowing the lawn. And the camera focuses on that lawnmower as he leaves.
Yeah, way at the beginning, before anybody dies.
Yep.
Also, I just realized something. The movie started with a tower, right?
Yep.
If you look at tarot cards, the tower represents disaster and destruction and upheaval and trauma.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, they know what they're doing when they make these films. Like, they know. And these guys especially knew. Like, holy shit.
If any other tarot cards relate to any other Final Destination.
I could see it. But yeah, so yeah, he gets the lawnmower across his face. We get the daughter gets thrown into the dumpster, which right beforehand she said, yeah, I'm sick of your garbage, and then yeah.
Then she ends up with the garbage.
Yeah. Funny thing, we watched this like a second time, and we had Doc with us. Doc is not made for these movies. He just can't handle...
No, the poor boy.
The entire time is him yelling at the screen saying, subtle as a brick. just the entire time.
But the only reason, the sequence of events are able to be followed by the audience is because of like all these, cinematography techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these movies are, especially this one, is like fantastic with that, lingering on things long enough for the audience to notice, showing things from the perspective of objects, and using the fact that the audience knows more than the characters do.
Yep.
Because the only reason the audience knows about that piece of glass is because of the camera showed it to you, showed you the journey of that piece of ice. So you have the audience going, no, 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 but the characters themselves have no way of knowing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. It's what I appreciate about this film is that it understands that for Final Destination, the characters are not the people talking. That's the drama and the interactions. That's not the character you're paying attention to. The character you're paying attention to is the environment and the setting.
Yep.
Because really, when you get down to it, the main character of these movies, death. You never actually, there's no character portraying death, just the camera. The camera is basically portraying death.
Yeah.
I broke Doc when I told him that Final Destination is essentially a Kleiner Infinite Death Machine Gmod film form.
Yeah.
I mean, another way I guess you could describe it is it's a slasher movie, but the slasher is death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's like bless his heart. He had one of his biggest issues was he looks at a lot of these and he goes like, so many of these things are like it's literally just OSHA violations. Like literally, it's stuff that could have been prevented. I'm like, hun, I've worked with people like that. I've seen people like that every day who violate stuff like that because they literally are just like, well, I don't know any better. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, this entire franchise is just safety regulation PSA.
Yeah. Like, one of the biggest examples to me has always been 3. Specifically when they were in the hardware store.
With the nail gun, right?
With the nail gun. Yeah. You have Ian with the nail gun using it to shoot pigeons. Now, today, people look at that and go like, well, that's just stupid. Like, you can't do that. And I'm like, this was 2006. Before 2006, I knew people who were doing shit like that.
Well, it's like that old saying, regulations are written in blood.
Yeah.
And these movies basically show ways, like all the strange ways regulations get written.
Yeah.
Like, safety laws are there for a reason.
Like, it's the funny thing to me is the people who go out of their way to try to debunk, like, all of this stuff, they're like, oh, well, that couldn't happen, or that wouldn't happen because, like, this, and especially because there's safety precaution, and I'm like, how long has that safety precaution been there?
Also, how long?
Also, why do you think it's there?
Also, have you maintained it? Has there been budget cuts?
Yeah. Like, that's the biggest thing to me. A lot.
Nobody notices the bridge collapsing until it breaks.
Yeah, these films come out. Suddenly you see people go like, oh, that wouldn't happen. But then you suddenly see in these certain areas, people get a little more self-conscious about things and get more secure. And suddenly you see, oh, hey, there's these new safety precautions. They looked at it and went, oh. Oh.
Well,
it's one thing to put like a human face to it because you can say like, oh, it's just this fucked up individual. Like, no. This is just death. Like,
the puppy does not like the conversation.
No, he's apparently very distressed.
As a fellow dog, I sympathize, but no.
Yeah, no, I adore these movies. Oh god.
Also, I was actually right. In Final Destination 3, I looked it up. There is a scene where they talk about the tarot cards. So if we go by chronological order, the tower being the first makes sense.
Yep.
So, if we assign every movie to a different tarot card, that would mean we would have a concise timeline to a degree.
Yeah. I can see that.
But that would mean there would be 13 movies.
Well,
We've got 6 now.
halfway there.
That's the thing, and one of the things I do adore about this franchise in general, and has been stated by the directors and just the people who've worked on it. The thing about Final Destination is that you can put it in any time period.
You could. Imagine if we had like a medieval Final Destination, or a,
Yep.
God forbid, you go even further back to like the Bronze Age, or even further back, where it's like, you want to see what happens when you get rid of modern medicine?
Yeah, no, there's been books, like the novelizations and books and stuff that they've done. The novels have gone all the way back, like gone way far back. Like, you can do this anyway. Like, they said, like, yeah, we could set a Final Destination film in the Old West. We could set it in space. Like,
Because
it doesn't matter, because it's all accidents.
because essentially the killer of Final Destination is just Murphy's Law.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. Like, and what I find funny in this one especially, there's been one or two deaths throughout the franchise, probably more than that, where like you look at things and you go, okay, there's some kind of supernatural force pushing that. Like, why would that happen?
Yeah.
Not a single one did I see in this. Because every one of them I'm like, well, no, something set that off. Each thing that set that off, I'm like, no, that's realistic. And it's like, oh, this thing fell. Oh, that happened. Somebody accidentally hit this button. Oh. Like, yeah. Things short out. Things do that. That happens in real life. Yeah, it's...
The thing is that as long as the percentage is not 0, it can happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
RNG is not your friend.
No, it is not. Actually,
Especially in these movies.
oh, God, no. Yeah. God, yeah. I think so far, this film does have the most brutal deaths that I've ever seen in a Final Destination film. And I think Eric's is, like, the top for me.
Yeah.
Because, holy shit. MRI machines are scary.
Magnets are scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Look, pressure is scary.
Yeah. And you saw that little video, like, there's a little video that shows, it's like, oh, warning, like, yeah, MRIs are used for this or this and this. Oh, but warning, like, all of these things can set it off and are dangerous around it. And it's like, oh, yeah, piercings.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a reason that, there's often metal detectors in front of doorways into areas with MRI machines.
Mm-hmm.
At least he only had a Prince Albert.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, that was the one that Doc had to close his eyes. Because he's like, I'm not seeing someone get grabbed by the dick.
Could have been worse. Could have had a Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah. Like, it was, oh, God. Yeah, you watch, it's like, oh, there goes the ear piercing. Oh, there goes the nose piercing. Oh, there goes the nipple piercings.
Oh, there goes the teeth.
Right? Yeah, and it's just like, and then he didn't want to he didn't want to rip it out. So it just pulled him up to it, and then... Oh, God, the wheelchair.
More or less just juiced him.
Yeah. Yeah, that was messed up. And then I kind of pissed off Doc because he went, because of, like, the very next death. Because I got to make a joke. Because So... One of our kids is, or one of our teenagers, whatever, college, however old they are, one of our victims is highly allergic, deathly allergic to nuts.
Yeah.
So we get this established early on, like at the
way back at the family barbecue.
Yeah, the family barbecue, where Mom comes in, having been gone for a long time, and is like, oh, I brought cookies, and like one of the kids tries to, he's like, oh yeah, nice, and he's like, wait, do these have peanut butter in them? She's like, oh yeah, it does. And the other one, and it's like, oh, are you actually trying to kill my brother? It's like, yeah, he can't even touch it. So you have this. Yeah, that's one established where they get ready to go to the hospital, and Eric follows along because he's like, nut check. You're like, what? And he's like, you made cookies with peanut butter. If he even touches that shit, he's dead.
Yeah.
So
and again, to Eric's credit, in an earlier scene or later scene, how you frame it,
mm-hmm.
he does actually get rid of peanut butter. Like, no, I'm making sure that no one dies.
Yeah, he does. He tosses that shit. He's like, yeah, we're not doing that. And then his brother's like, it's like, oh man, you're such a good brother. And he's like, nut check.
It's the typical thing of, I gotta be addicted to push people away because I'm scared.
Yeah. Punches his brother in the dick. So, yeah, he decides, okay, well, you have to go into... You have to die, so what better way than to fuck with your allergy?
Yeah, because they get this plan of, like, oh, we'll kill you and have them bring you back, because here we are at a hospital.
Yeah.
And, of course, Death does not take kindly to this change of plans, and hence the whole sequence with the MRI machine, because that's where they're hiding, so they can set off the allergy.
Yep. And I did love that they're like, he's like, okay, yeah, I'll get you the nuts. He's like, no. If I'm gonna do this, if I'm gonna get, like, basically die, I ain't going out on that unsalted shit. Give me the good stuff. And he gets the peanut butter cups.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's like, oh, it's so good. Like, yeah, no, it is good. But aside from that, like, what else are you feeling? Yeah, it's a really fucked up scene. But while he was trying to get it out of the snack machine, it got stuck.
And, you see all these, like, don't shake the machine signs, and you think, oh no, it's going to fall on him.
Mm.
But instead, it's a spring later, plus the MRI machine, that gets him.
Yep. And when that spring nailed him in the head and started, like, corkscrewing through his brain, like,
that's not
Doc,
great.
I pissed off Doc. Because he said it. He's like, I respect the twist, but fuck. And I'm like, oh, you respect the twist? It's like, I'm going to visit you, and I'm going to kick you in the balls. I'm like, oh, come on, you walked right into it. Well, okay, technically you spun right into it. I'm going to kick you in the nuts. I'm like,
Whoa. You should probably unwind there.
No need to be so tight sprung.
Oh, God.
Don't need to coil up your anger.
It always gets spun in a way that's my fault. So, oh god. So yeah, so they run. They go. They decide. Oh, well, we need to lock up Mom in Iris's cabin. That's where it's safe. And no.
I mean, to be fair, like from the second they show her cabin with all these, it looks like something out of like a zombie apocalypse with all these like, you know, things to keep people away and out and such, and you're just looking at going like, well, that looks safe.
Yeah, they're going up to.
Are you up to date on your tetanus shot? Because seriously.
The problem is that that argument falls out of the way when you realize that she dies on that property and she deliberately lets herself get killed, and she knows she can do that.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, again, so many references to other films. Like, when she's, the whole, like, caution around her granddaughter the entire time, it was definitely more a reference to Claire from 2. When she was in the, when she put herself in the asylum.
Right. And there's a lot of allegory for that, where, allegory or analogy. Being like a reference to dementia.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Any form of genetic disease.
And then you've got the reference to the first one, where one of my favorite scenes from the first movie, when Alex, when Alex locked himself up in that cabin, and then he almost got hit with the fucking the rusty fish hooks. Rusted. Tetanus. Nice one. I overlooked it. You tried to capitalize, but I caught you, you fuck.
That has to be like one of the funniest parts in this movie is when she's like going like, ha, I saw you, nice try.
Oh yeah.
With like the beam of sunlight and stuff.
Yeah.
but then that weakened rope comes back later.
Yep. Yeah, again, and again, like straight up a reference to 1 because she just flat out go like, I got you fuck. She flat out just calls death. I love it when they call death a fuck. It's like, it's like referencing like death as an entity. I love it. And then there's a reference to 3, like with like what Ian said when like before he died, when he was talking to Wendy. When he was like, you didn't even believe me, so what do you care? And he's like, yeah, well, seeing is believing. And sure as shit, that's what she says here. Yeah, she's like, and he's like, yeah, but what are you doing? And he's like, seeing is believing. And showed her granddaughter what she was gonna have to deal with.
And yet, at the same time, it's like, man, you couldn't have held out a little longer.
Right?
No. Gotta be dramatic.
Yeah, so it's...
I'm also willing to bet that she's probably depressed as shit, and she probably doesn't trust herself.
Most likely. And so we go, getting back to the later part of the film, they all try to get in there. Well, some sparks get in, set some shit off, and boom.
The place is very flammable.
Yeah.
Very
flammable.
Stephanie was stuck in the... was stuck in it, in the van, whatever. RV. She was stuck in the RV because something had fallen and fucked up the seatbelt. And so the explosion causes it to topple and fall right into the water. So she's drowning while her little brother is being crushed by shit. And Mom eventually brings her half-dead ass over there, pulls it up, and gets him out. And he's like, yeah, go save your sister. And he's like, don't worry, what about you? Like, no, it's okay. Like, It's like you're fine as long as and then she just fucking dies.
Yeah, because Death's an asshole.
Yeah, just crushed. It's like instant. That is an instant kill. And so she drowns, and he manages to get her out, resuscitate her. She's good.
Yeah, because there was that foreshadowing at the very beginning where it's just like talk of him and his lifeguard training and stuff.
Yep.
And then you think everything's fine until they're talking to an actual doctor later, when it's like, oh no, you weren't actually dead. Good job saving her, though.
Yeah.
And then you just see the look of horror on their faces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the penny.
Cyclical. Can't outrun it.
Penny for the ferryman.
Yep. That penny was in the book that she was carrying around. It fell out. An old lady picked it up. Well, that old lady...
That little old lady uses it to buy lemonade from the little kid's lemonade stand, and
it falls
The funny
into
thing
the
is
railroad
that
tracks.
Yep.
That same old lady is the one that Eric talked to, and he asked her, how long do you have left to live?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, how much time you got left?
How much do your family have?
Which, by the way, oh god, the fact that it actually went there. This film actually went there, where they're like, well, how do you know if somebody, like how much life somebody has? Like, how could you be certain that maybe you'll get, like, a lot of it? And they hear,
And then
they look at the babies.
All the babies.
All the newborns.
And then they, to their credit, they both go, no.
Yeah, like, no. Eric goes,
Just like how the movie
well...
had to show, just
Even
like
that's
how the
not
movie had to
guaranteed.
show us that at the end, the pet turtle that the family had is being cared and taken care of.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that penny drops into the train tracks. Sequence of events happen backwards. We're seeing all this shit again. The same type of truck, but it's going, or the same type of car goes over the tracks, but it's going the opposite direction. We see that type of dress. We see everything. And the train derails. But that's not what kills our protagonists. Nope. It's what's
Logs.
behind the train.
It was a freight train carrying logs.
Yep.
Which were circles.
Yep. And takes them out both just one after the other instantly. And that's our film.
The credit sequence was kind of cool though, because you got to see like the whole newspapers of the sequence of deaths and stuff.
Mm-hmm. References to stuff that was like hinted at before. Deaths that like I kind of would like to see at some point. There is also again reference to technically 2 and 3. Because there was supposed to be some finality to Kimberly and the officer who survived 2. Originally, they were supposed to come back in 3 and die on the train. Die on the subway train. But they couldn't get them because of, scheduling conflicts and shit. Then there's the DVD exclusive for 3, where you get the option of Choose Their Fate. You get to play that game, where you get to see alternate scenes put in. And one of them allowed you to read a newspaper that was being used as a blanket by a bum. And on that newspaper, it talks about mysterious deaths that happened to the 2 of them. Few years, like I think it was like the 5-year anniversary to what had happened, or it was whatever anniversary. and they get pulled into a wood chipper.
Mm-hmm.
So to get that referenced here, where one of the deaths you see, like, you see the drawing of somebody falling into a wood chipper, and then you see the news article of somebody falling into a wood chipper, and I'm like, yeah, no, this is all references.
Yeah.
But that one has never been confirmed whether or not that happened to them. Maybe someday we'll get some confirmation of those two.
Who knows?
But yeah, no, this was a lot of fun. This was a really fun film.
This is a fun movie, even if you haven't seen any of the other Final Destination movies.
Mm-hmm.
The person I went and saw the movie with knew nothing about Final Destination. He knew they were horror movies and existed. But he's like, but what's it about? And I'm like, it's about trying to cheat death.
Yeah.
But is there lore I need to know? No.
No.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. For those looking real deep, yes, but no.
In order to enjoy the movie, no. So it's like
you're in a funhouse ride, and there is lore on the wall, but are you paying attention to that, or are you just paying attention to the monsters?
Yeah.
But yeah, after we left the movie theater with this, it's like he turns to me and goes like, "We need to watch the whole series."
Good.
Yeah.
And he was so mad at me. He's like, "You didn't tell me it was going to be funny."
Yeah, it's always been funny.
Yeah. I mean, you literally look at the deaths in the first one. Like,
These
okay,
movies
the
are
most
not
horrifying is
necessary.
the guy being is Todd.
Yeah.
But outside of that, yeah, you got like people freaking out and then shit happens and it's like that was funny. Like, both drop fucking dead. Boom. Like, come on. Yeah, it's always been fairly funny.
Like, it's not meant to be like a personal tragedy film. It's literally meant to be a slaughter film. Like, you know that this is just meant for the gore, the laughs, and the fucked up situations and how people get into them or survive them or lack thereof.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's... Don't take these films serious. Take the warning serious. Maybe be a little more cautious these days.
Be more careful in the parking lot, and
absorb the message.
Yeah. But the films themselves, no, this is all fun. Don't take it too serious.
It's not like the creators are condoning this shit. No, just
no. Yeah, no, and again, it's like it's different from other horror films.
OSHA approved on this franchise, and it would fit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
In a way, these movies are kind of like that infamous forklift safety video.
Oh my god, yeah.
That one,
I've seen it.
German one.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those who aren't aware, there's this infamous forklift safety video that it's like they were tasked with making a safety video, but they really wanted to make a horror film instead. So that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got, like all these like sequence of events, people ignoring safety, not paying attention. And so in that sense, it's kind of like a little mini Final Destination, but it's just forklifts the whole time. And, like the whole message is, basically be aware of your surroundings, be safe. Otherwise terrible things happen.
Yeah.
Don't be a dickhead. Don't tempt fate. Be aware of your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a dick to other people. And for the love of God, stop stressing about every little detail.
Yeah, like they
the more
say,
you try and outrun it, the closer and faster you get to running smack into it.
Yep. Well, it's like the more people try to avoid death or stress out about it, they end up kind of wasting the time they have left. Yep. It's like they're told. It's like, Enjoy life, and don't worry about it.
Value your life.
Yeah, like, you gotta look at the people who live the longest in these films. Like, those ones when they have those people who are like, oh, yeah, I've been, like, hiding myself from it and everything. It's like, yeah, you haven't been living. Like,
It's
they
like
are the most miserable of them all.
Like Iris hiding in that cabin for years and years, or the mom character who's been basically living in an RV,
Yeah.
for years and years.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. No, like, that's the thing. Life is full of risk. Like, that's just how it is.
Life is full of risk, but don't be an idiot.
Yeah, no, don't be an idiot. And for the love of God, don't tempt fate.
And don't make a mockery of death.
Yeah.
You can curse out God, not death.
Yeah, no, it's like, don't...
God's the manager. Death is the one you actually have to work on, the worker.
Yeah.
Sharpen your chess skills.
Death is fucking punctual.
And don't go molesting garbage trucks. God damn it, Eric. No. This was a very fun one, and I cannot wait to see the next one.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I won't have to wait another, like, 14 plus years.
Yeah. Hopefully this one did well enough that we'll get something sooner than, a decade from now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, from what I know, it was a massive success. It was, like, it is seen as the best of the franchise now. It made the most money. And everybody was like, yeah, no, this was fun. Give us more. It got the green light.
Resurgence in smaller studios with more passionate.
Oh, yeah. I just want to
break away from that mega corporation type shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't wait to see where they go. I'm like, okay.
Same.
So we've had multiple different concepts, and then this is the first time where we've centered on a family. Which, by the way, before we wrap up, the family drama may not be for everyone, but damn it, I loved it.
Well, it kind of...
Go ahead.
Love and hate and life and death are very interwoven, because they're very interwoven into motive and why you...
Mm-hmm.
So it would make sense how one's love and hate can affect one's life and consequently their death.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, there's kind of that little sub-theme of, leaving to protect your family, but because they did that, they lost all that time with their family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's this theme of you need to give something, or something is finite.
Yeah.
You only have so much time. It's like, how do you want to actually spend it? Do you want to spend it with the people you care about, or do you want to, spend it apart from them because you think that's saving them?
Because the funny thing is that if you genuinely just ignore it, I think death would genuinely just give you a very quick, peaceful death.
Yeah, no, those who don't... That's the thing. It's like those who... No, because they fought it, but they got quick deaths, so... It's weird. Like, it's very...
really weird.
Yeah. Because that garbage truck, that garbage compactor death was not quick.
No, and like she didn't even believe that they were under on death's list at that point.
Yeah. Eric's death was not fucking quick. That was... And, I mean, from what I could see, I don't believe Bobby's death was all that quick either.
No, Bobby's was quick.
Yeah, because he basically got lobotomized right at the beginning.
Oh, okay, I guess I was just seeing leftover, like, movement, like... muscles
You were
twitching.
literally just seeing muscle spasm twitches. He was gone the moment that shit fucking went through his head.
Okay. But yeah, the other two, yeah, no, they did not. I'm not sure how quick the dad died. Like, I hope very fast. Like,
Yeah.
the
How fast
lawnmower.
lawnmowers go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like they. Yeah, I don't know. It's. Death is fucking complicated.
Complicated and petty and messy for no reason, which I think is the point.
Yeah.
Death is messy for no reason.
Yeah.
It's also very clearly that death is cat-coded, because we've seen in multiple movies that it will not let you kill yourself until it's your time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, like Tony has said before, like he said in the first one. Yeah, death is like a cat that's got a mouse by the tail. It's just toying with it until it finally gets bored and decides to take it out. Like, yeah, that's essentially death in these films. So, highly recommend this film. Holy shit. Watch it. I know it's gonna be, I believe HBO is gonna have, all 6 of them streaming there. So if you have a subscription, you'll be able to see it there. Otherwise, I know it's on demand. And there are other ways. And I will say no more on that.
Well, also, public libraries often have movies, and they have a surprisingly robust horror section, so you can watch them all.
There you go.
With your library card.
There you go. Yep. Keep the library alive.
Keep
yeah.
The institution safe.
Oh yeah. So, with all of that said. Grave, where is the turtle today?
I'm taking chess lessons. You never know when you need them.
Fair. Kaz, where can people find you?
Your mom.
Okay. No socials? Nothing you want to give out?
Nah. No, but some advice, dog of wisdom. Early to rise, early to bed, makes a man healthy and socially dead.
You know what? Fair. Alright. Well, you can find me here on Podbean as well as YouTube under Wolfston Productions. From goofy-ass anime to the shocking horror, Wolfston Productions, your #1 stop for equally nerdy reviews of nerdy media. You can also find me over on Blue Sky under Mr. Ookami. Go there at your own risk. I follow Doc, so now things are popping up in my fucking feed. And Varren already had... I see a lot of tits in my feed now.
You don't say.
Whatever. Just... Anyways... I sometimes post my thoughts there. Also, if you're feeling extra generous, you can head on over to the Wolfston Patreon, where you can get access to episodes that may or may not drop to the general public, episodes that most certainly will not be dropping to the general public, behind the scenes, all sorts of goodies, all for a measly $1 a month. Remember, folks, your $1 a month, that can go a long, long way. And until next time, keep watching horror. I don't know what the next episode is going to be, because we now have so many different shows that we do. So we have a variety.
It's the Wolfston Variety Pack.
Oh yeah, that's why I changed it to Wolfston Productions. Anyways, good night, everybody.
Woof.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.